The pain of the lioness and the helpless pacing of the male lion made the morning air thick with silent desperation. Across a vast stretch of low-green grass dotted with acacia trees, the scene radiated primal distress. For hours, the heavily pregnant lioness had struggled. Her breathing was harsh, her body quivering through wave after wave of painful, fruitless contractions. She was exhausted. Her once mighty roar had faded into faint, heartbreaking moans. Nearby, her mate circled endlessly. A powerful king rendered helpless by the cruel rhythm of nature. He nudged her gently with his massive head, a gesture of love and sorrow, as if begging her to hold on. Yet, this was a battle he could not fight. Nature had drawn its line, and their family bond was being pushed to its limits. Can you feel the tension rising through the Savannah air? Tap the like button if you believe in the unbreakable bond of wild families. But then, as the sun climbed higher, a sign of hope appeared, a vehicle in the distance, cutting across the quiet wilderness. Inside was Ranger Amara, a seasoned wildlife rescuer on her morning patrol through the African plains. Her khaki jacket matched the dusty horizon, her eyes alert and experienced. The moment she spotted the distressed pair, her instincts took over. She cut the engine a safe distance away, scanning the scene with care. Amara immediately recognized the symptoms of prolonged labor, a deadly situation that, in the wild, almost always meant death for both mother and cubs. The clock was ticking. She knew the risk of approaching a lioness in distress, especially one guarded by her mate, was extreme. Yet, as she watched, something extraordinary happened. The male lion didn't roar or charge. He only paced, his golden mane catching the sunlight, his focus entirely on the lioness. His eyes flicked toward Amara, not with fury, but with something deeper, almost pleading. It was as if he understood that this human might be their only chance. Amara moved closer, her bright red medical kit resting on the grass beside her. She quickly assessed the situation. The lioness's breathing was shallow, her strength failing. There was no time left. With calm precision, Amara raised her dart gun and fired, the tranquilizer finding its mark on the lioness's flank. The dosage was carefully measured, enough to keep her still, but safe for the unborn cubs. Amara braced herself, waiting for the inevitable charge. But to her astonishment, the male lion stood motionless, his muscles tense, his eyes locked on her. But he did not attack. He seemed to understand. Amara rushed forward. Her hands worked swiftly, checking the lioness's vitals and stabilizing her condition. The male lion remained close, his towering frame casting a shadow over Amara as she worked. It was a moment suspended between two worlds, human and wild, held together by a fragile thread of trust. What do you think was going through the lion's mind in that instant? Share your thoughts in the comments. The immediate danger had passed, but the true test was yet to come. Transporting the unconscious lioness to the veterinary center, Amara radioed her team, calling in a specialized rescue vehicle from the nearest wildlife clinic at the edge of the Acacia Plains. Every minute mattered. The rescue truck arrived swiftly, equipped with a stretcher and lift system. The biggest uncertainty was the male lion. Would he allow them to take her away? The team worked fast, surrounding the lioness with calm, steady movements. They lifted her carefully, securing her onto the stretcher. The male lion prowled around them, growling low, but never crossing the line into aggression. It was as if he was watching humans perform a sacred ritual he somehow approved of. When the vehicle started moving, something remarkable happened. The lion began to follow, step by step, his massive paws leaving deep prints in the dust. He kept pace behind them all the way to the dirt road. It wasn't a chase, it was an escort. The rescue team was speechless. The male lion followed until they reached the boundary of the veterinary center, stopping just before the gates. He refused to go further, but he didn't leave either. He simply stood there, a sentinel watching over his queen. Amara felt a lump in her throat. The strength of this silent loyalty was overwhelming. They had succeeded only because the king had allowed them to. If you've ever seen love this powerful, give this story a thumbs up. Inside the modern facility, the medical team prepared for an emergency C-section. The air buzzed with urgency. Amara stood just outside the operating room, her heart pounding as she glanced through the window toward the wild edge of the reserve. The male lion was still there, lying beneath a lone acacia tree, his golden mane glinting in the afternoon sun. His eyes never left the building. Hours passed in near silence. Then, suddenly, a small sound broke through, a cry, then another, and another. 4 tiny lion cubs had been born. Relief swept through the team like a storm of joy. Amara closed her eyes, tears slipping down her dusty cheeks. Outside, the male lion lifted his head, and from his chest came a deep, rolling sound. Not a roar, but something softer, a rumble of pure relief. Somehow, he knew. When the lioness regained consciousness, she was moved to a quiet recovery enclosure. Her paws twitched as her cubs nestled beside her, tiny and perfect. A new family, alive because one human had refused to give up. From that day on, the male lion began his vigil. Every dawn, he appeared outside the facility's boundary, lying in the grass, eyes fixed on the walls beyond which his family rested. He never attacked, never roared. He simply waited. Amara often left food and water for him, an unspoken bond of gratitude. Weeks passed. Then came the day of reunion. The lioness was strong again, her cubs playful and curious. Amara personally oversaw the release. When the transport doors opened, the lioness stepped out first, stretching, breathing in the wild air she had nearly lost forever. The cubs followed, tumbling over each other in the grass. From the shade of a tree, the male lion emerged, his amber eyes fixed on them. He approached slowly, the air heavy with anticipation. Then, he lowered his massive head toward the lioness and pressed his muzzle softly against her cheek. No roar, no dominance, only love. One by one, he greeted the cubs, gently touching each tiny head with his nose. It was a sight that silenced everyone who watched. Amara felt her heart swell. The Savannah had witnessed the return of a family and the triumph of compassion over cruelty. The rescue team watched in awe as the lions walked away together, disappearing into the golden horizon. Amara knew she had not only saved one life, but an entire legacy. This was more than a rescue. It was a poignant reminder that courage and kindness can bridge even the most profound divides. Which lion cub do you think will grow up to be the strongest? Tell us below. And if this story touched your heart, click on the next video to witness another breathtaking rescue. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to savannaEmber, where every heartbeat of the wild finds hope again.